Next up, we have Mimi Du. She is the president of Du Wealth Management. She has an interesting story about coming here as an immigrant, so you're definitely going to want to check her out. Mimi, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Kristi, it's an absolute pleasure to be here.
So to start off, tell me about yourself and your business.
I own a business called Do Wealth Management, and in fact, it was, I'm super excited to say that I drove my husband into the entrepreneurial side of things because I said, we have to solve a problem and we have to serve some people. And our business is creating virtual family offices for entrepreneurs. It's where billionaires create this model to help with their wealth planning. And what we decided to do is bring that same model and make it affordable for entrepreneurs who take home $1 million or more.
Beautiful. What does it mean, a virtual family office? What is that?
Yeah, great question. The family office structure is where billionaires hire all the necessary professionals in tax, legal, insurance, and investments, accountants, attorneys as full-time employees to help with all of their wealth planning decisions and strategies. There's a big problem with that, though, for most people. It takes about 400 million of, you've got to have about 400 million of liquid assets in order to run a family office. And so what we decided to do is look at the team of the professionals that an entrepreneur has already picked up over the years. And we put ourselves in the middle to assess these professionals, see if they're A players. If not, then we replace them and we make sure that everybody's communicating, collaborating, and executing. Because oftentimes we see an entrepreneur trying to be at the center and collaborate, run the teams. That's not what they're good at. They're good at running the business. So we put ourselves in the middle and we make sure that things are being done because we know all the languages of tax, legal, insurance, and investments.
Oh, I love it. It's like you take this big pile of stress and heartache and confusion and you simplify it
We
for
simplify
us.
it, yes, because it is a very complicated, I mean, to maximize wealth and to sustain wealth, it's very complicated. So we make it easy for the entrepreneur.
Yeah, and you're right. If it's not your business, it's a full-time job to learn and to track that.
It is a
Where
full-time
you have
job.
to do your normal business and spend your time there. And I'm going to just say, I don't know if you find this to be true, please help me, but for women, it's even more, I think, challenging.
It is, and this is such a passion of mine, is to really reach out to women and money because it is challenging. They feel shameful when they start feeling money, or they don't feel comfortable, or they feel guilty when they start creating wealth. And so my passion is to really help women feel comfortable around money, to feel secure around money, and to say there are people here to support you and help you.
It's interesting. My dad ran the trust company for Merrill Lynch.
Oh.
And Dad, hope you're not watching, never taught me how to invest, he never taught me his business, and I think it was because I was a woman. And it's interesting that now women, I think, are stepping into this role, and I think it's still confusing. So
it is confusing, and there's a lot of people in the industry where there are a lot of hidden fees, product sales, and people in general, they don't know who to trust.
Right.
And I feel that women especially are taking advantage of because, like you, they were not taught. They were taught to stand behind somebody, possibly a man or another authoritative figure will take care of everything for you. And many times we'll meet with couples where she, the spouse, doesn't even know where anything is, where any of the investments are, doesn't know anything. And then there's this sense, this peace of mind saying that wow, you're going to take care of things, you're going to educate me, because we always want to make sure that she is educated, not being followed or excuse me, or leading herself blindly. And so again, we're very upfront with everything. No product sales, no fees. It's just a strictly monthly fee, and we just say, if we're not valuable to you, fire us, hire and fire us as necessary. So everything is very transparent, and that's how it should be, so that women can understand money and feel comfortable with money.
I love that. So tell me about you. How did you start? How did you come aboard? And tell me, when I was a little girl, start there.
I'm an immigrant. My family came over when I was 5 years old.
From where?
From Seoul, Korea. Yeah, so I didn't know the language. I didn't fit in. I was very scared. My father was also very controlling, and what I saw was he would give my mom an allowance and say, this is all that you can buy. And so at a very young age, I said, I'm going to learn about money. I am going to not be fearful of money and welcome money, and I'm going to be in control and understand what it means to be financially secure. So how I feel is that anything is possible. I can make money. Money is easy to make. There's so much opportunity.
Okay, so go into more detail. So you're 5 years old. What's your background, and lead us up to where you are today?
So I'm 5 years old. I don't speak the language. All I know is Korean. And I remember the first day of just being in school. And you know what? Let me step back a little bit more. We come from very humble beginnings. My father was an orphan. My mother was the daughter of a peasant farmer. And they barely had a second grade education. So my parents' dream, my father, was to bring the family to this country, because from afar, as an immigrant, you think America is this most amazing country and that anything is possible. So he got himself off the streets by learning Taekwondo, and he became the Korean national champion. I mean, the Korean national champion in 1968, in 1969. Because of that, he taught to the U.S. Army. And I wish I knew his name. A general in the Army sponsored him to come to this country. And his whole dream was to start a business. And he slept on floors to try and, in fact, Taekwondo studios, worked minimum wage. What was that back then? It was the early 70s. He scraped enough to bring all of us over, and I'm the oldest female. I have the middle child is my brother, and then I have a younger sister. So we came over, had absolutely nothing, started on food stamps. And so that was my introduction to money. We just said, okay, we have this handout. We are not going to stay on food stamps. We're going to make something out of ourselves. And then just all this opportunity, and all of us worked whatever jobs that we could to make money. My parents trust education because they didn't have any education. So that's what I thought is, I'm going to become educated. I'm going to become a professional. I'm going to become a doctor. So that's my background.
Wait, okay, so did you go to medical? Like, what do you mean? Tell us, like, finish it.
Nobody had a college degree in my family. I wanted to be the first one to go to college. And so, yes, I started off pre-med. I was going to be this professional. I was going to change the world. I was going to help people. And then I just saw that I was going to be in school forever. I want to get out there and start doing things. So fitness initially was my love. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to start personal training on the side. I'm going to make some money. I'm going to see what I can do, what I can create. So I was hustling on the side, going to school, training as many clients as I could. And so that was just, and then I got that bug. I mean, really, my early years, I saw my father open up Taekwondo schools. And, at 8 years old, I was helping him look at contracts. My parents could barely read English. So I was the first one to learn English, first one to read English. So he put contracts in front of me at 8 years old. So I guess I could say that I started running a business or helping him run a business. I had no idea what the contracts meant. So we just did whatever we could, navigate, run the school, and all that. So yeah, so that's where my entrepreneurship started.
Okay, and so you kept doing that, and then you met your husband, and how long ago did you start, when did you start the family office concept? Like, how long has it been?
So my husband and I met in college, and we've been together 32 years, married 29 years. Love of my life. Super lucky to have such a great man in my life. We started the concept. My husband started off as a school teacher. And so
I've met him, and that it doesn't fit. So it's interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
again, money wasn't important. So he grew up with a mindset. From his parents grew up in the Depression. So he was the youngest, and he was taught money is really hard to make. You got to save every dollar. So money was never important to him. He thought, I'm going to become a teacher. I'm going to change the world. And so when we met, I thought, all right, you got to go do your thing. I will figure out a way to take care of us. Unfortunately, and it's still sad to this day that teachers do not get paid well.
my mom's a teacher. I completely they don't pay teachers enough. Yeah.
Right. So you understand.
Yeah.
So definitely. So he taught for 5 years, and fitness business. I'm going to train people. I'm going to open up studios. I started a spin studio. I thought that's the way. It was so hard. It was really hard. I didn't know marketing. I didn't know some of the big marketers who I know today. So I was just struggling, trying to find people to come into the door. And I was doing that on the side. He's teaching. And then he said, you know what? I'm really not making a difference. How I can make a difference is by, he was teaching math and physics at the time, is going outside and make money, create scholarships, because the school system he just felt was so broken at the time, and unfortunately it still is. So he went into financial planning 26 years ago, worked for a big brokerage firm based out of New York. And then he got really frustrated because, again, it became about the company first, selling products, forcing people into what would make
Commission-based.
what, the company, I mean, we all hear of that. He would come home and complain while I'm trying to run my business on the side, complain. And I just told him, you know what, Jim, you've got to start your own business. And this was 22 years ago. And he was just like, that's unheard of. Nobody starts their own firm. How do you do that? And I said, you know what? Let's do this together. We'll figure it out.
Oh.
So in 1999, we started our firm, Do Wealth Management, and that's the concept.
Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you for bringing us up to date. So we were also talking about some of the benefits of being a business owner versus working for someone. Can you tell us, why does that make sense? Tell us more about it.
Most women don't understand that there are two systems when it comes to taxes. Being an employee and being a business owner. As an employee, you pay taxes. As a business owner, you manage your taxes. So for example, how you set up your company structure, how you deduct your expenses. When you're managing your taxes, there's more opportunity for wealth in a faster and complete way.
So what's your advice? What would you tell someone who's thinking about starting a business or who has a small business?
I would say absolutely listen to yourself, listen to your heart, your drive. Surround yourself with people who will elevate you, who will push you. Don't be afraid to fail. Anything is possible in this country. Anything is. Being a business owner will lead to more opportunities, greater wealth. If I did this, you can do it too.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. 5 years old, coming here, not knowing the language, and having a huge dream for more. So the series is called The Millionaire Within Her. What does that make you want to share with everybody?
I want to say it's in you as a woman. Don't be afraid to aspire for that. Don't be ashamed of money. You can make changes. There will be so many opportunities. Bring that millionaire that's within you. Bring it out and change this world like I did.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wasn't Mimi's story fascinating? It's so interesting about coming here as an immigrant, chasing the American dream. I hope you took away as much as I did.
Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.